this is Jackie Dillon. Just thought I'd give you a bit of a tip on how to look after fins, how fins are placed in your ski, and to make sure that you don't damage your ski at the same time. One of the things that always seems to happen is when people are undoing screws, they tend to slip and they end up with big gouges out of their ski. So what I do is I make sure that I've got the base of the screwdriver with my fingers and I start to unscrew it very carefully. And I'm sure you don't want to just watch me do this, but I'll just show you anyway. Try and make sure that your ski is sitting on a cushion or a mattress, not flush on the floor, so that you don't damage your ski. Treat it like a car. It's very valuable. When you get scratches on your wave ski, it just diminishes performance because you end up with superficial fractures. So we just unscrew this now. Again, doesn't have to be a race. Make sure that it's undone. I've seen some people be quite ruthless with their fins. So then we use the screwdriver here. I might just get you to come over a bit closer there with me. We flick this up very gently and then we very carefully extract it. Now one of the things with fins is when you're putting them in, they can have a bit of movement in them and you think, oh, can I make it tighter? It might be that this bolt, the screw rather, is too long for the fin box. And so one of the things that we can do is have what I call a paddle pop stick that you can sit straight into your fin box and it raises the height of your fin at the back so that you don't have that movement. And because I've already done that, I don't need this one here. It should sit snugly so that you don't have any movement with your fin. Make sure that when you're putting in your fin, you're very careful with your bolt. One of the things that's very important to do is to make sure that the bolt does up before you actually insert it in. So we're just going to put this on. So what I do is make sure that the screw is already tightened through the fin before I put it back in the box. This takes a bit of practice. Some people prefer to have the CS system. That's fine. You do whatever you're most comfortable in and with. This is what works for me. And people seem to always have an opinion on where to place their fins. Again, it's personal preference. What works for you may not work for others, and vice versa. What works for others may not work for you. It's about understanding what you're using fins for. It's for directional movement, and also take into consideration your own ability. So I pop this back in through here, line it up with that bolt, make sure that's in like so, lined up, and very carefully start to do it up. Again, you just want to make sure that if you're too hasty with the tightening of the screw, you could end up with big gouges out of your ski, which is not where you want to be. It, as I was saying before, it does weaken. Try not to do this because that blunts your fin. If you can't move your fin, undo the whole thing and start again. And what some people do is they tighten it as tight as they can. and then come back one little notch so that if they do get caught on a rock, that they haven't totally ruined their fin. But just for this exercise, I'm going to do it up as tight as I can. Lined it up, perfect, no movement. And I've used one of these. I've put this in the base so that it raises up the back here. So there is a slight bit of movement. So I just move that there. Okay, there's no movement now. Thank you.
Got this girl in my Toyota. She's trying to get out. She's been scratching and twitching, but I can't hear her shout. You better run.